Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Betway Midas Mode 2 blog. Oh, so good to have you guys. Welcome. Whew. Let's go through last week. It hurts. Last week was probably one of the most stressful weeks in my entire life. Let me lay out the situation for you. We have a wonderful sponsor, the Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex, who came through in the nick of time for us. Be very real with you. 3 of our sponsors pulled out, and we were going to be in some major problems. And then Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex said, hey, I watched your blog. I heard some of your sponsors pulled out. We really love the content that you guys did last time. We want to help you out, and we want to see what we can do to help out. So they're back. And in part of that, one of the best things about the Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex content from last year was going to film content and showing off their great space. So this week on Monday, on the 13th or the 10th or something, I flew down to Florida. And someone playing in here? No. And I made some content with a special guest, a special friend of mine. We went down to Florida, got some cool NASA gear, and yeah, everything was looking great. I land on that night, sitting in there. Now, you have to realize that we're going through making this content. It's going to be probably a 12 to 14-hour shoot of nailing things, and then it drops. The TI qualifier dates. Oh, my God. Guys, one more time, I'd like to explain this situation. I need to film with with NASA and meet and have dinner and smooth over my friends at the Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex, NASA. And I got this news about the qualifiers. Let's talk about how fucking big of a deal this was before we go into it. In case you guys don't understand the impact of this announcement, I'll try to look it up. All right. So, typically in the Dota Pro circuit in the last couple of years, you'll have some qualifiers that go into those events. Now, you're going to have a qualifier for the majors. You're going to have ones for the minors. And there will be some sort of, a chance for conflict. As I told you guys last year, making a tournament as a third-party organizer in Dota 2, there is zero chance that you're not going to have conflict. Someone is always going to be looking for that piece of pie because it is a free market economy. Anybody who wants, anytime that there's not a major tournament, you can expect that people are going to try to make a third-party tournament or a second-party tournament because Dota 2 is a big game. There's a lot of stuff to make in there. So, of course, we knew that we were running a risk with our dates, but as we've said so many times before, there is no safe place in Dota 2 except for the month before TI and the month after TI. Those are the only times where no one's going to be throwing a tournament and running over yours. Last year in Midas Mode 2, we made our good shit, we made our tournament, and then a Dota 2, either a major or minor, got put right on top of our dates. And there's nothing we can do. So, tried to be proactive this one. Tried to announce as early as possible so that Valve and everyone knew these were the dates. And holy shit, when this qualifier dropped. So let me walk you through this. Now, we know that there could have been some conflict. Maybe the major qualifiers is the same time. That's okay, because guess what? We can get a lot of Tier 2 teams that are almost Tier 1. We can get a lot of Tier 3 teams. We can get a lot of fun stacks. But that's okay. And let's say a minor qualifiers at the same time. That's really good because the Tier 1 teams are not allowed to play at minors. They'll have nothing to do. So the biggest hope is that you have a minor qualifier. Then all the Tier 1 teams have something to do while they're watching the minor qualifiers. Piece of cake. Either one of those could have worked. But Valve changed the system to make the major and the minor qualifiers on the same dates. And those dates were the exact same as Midas Mode. Now let me explain this to you. if you are on a Dota 2 team, then you are not playing in Midas mode. That was the situation. Literally, if you had any hopes of making it to a major, a minor, or qualifying, you would not be playing in Midas mode 2. It was the end. There was no way around it. There was no fucking way around it. We were dead. There was nothing. The only chance we had would be to try to find people that have literally no hope of even attempting to go. Because let's not forget, there's also open qualifiers for these tournaments as well, which are probably going to be played around the same time as the closed qualifiers. Which means that no matter what happens, if you play Dota 2, you are not going to Midas mode. It was fucking over. Whew. That's an issue. Now imagine being at a dinner with people that are investing into your tournament. And I'd like to remind you, one of our first blogs, we talked about esports and tournaments and contracts. Esports is the Wild West. Everything is made off of people's good word of mouth. If I promise these sponsors that I'm going to get teams, I'm going to throw a tournament, and it's going to be popular, it is literally my word. That's all I have to show for it. I can show stuff from the last tournament. I can show other things. But it is my word. Imagine you're at a dinner with NASA. You're at a dinner with the boys. This news comes in, and you got to be like, guys, we're good. We're good. Woo! We're not good. Things are not good. It was over. Within, I would say, 20 minutes of that announcement being made, every single team pulled out. That was affiliated with the tournament. It was over. There was nothing. It was a void. Now, let me also remind you, stuff that you put into a tournament. We have probably already spent, I'm not going to say the number, but definitely more than, is in my bank account of stuff like merchandise, venue costs, talent payment, flights for talent, not to mention the fans also bought hotels, airlines. I mean, talk about literally going bankrupt would be the circumstance, because we use all that money. Typically, a sponsor will give you half up front, half later. So you use all that money on as much as you can to buy stuff before the tournament. It's not like weird or anything. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. Tournaments have to be made beforehand to be able to, you get that sponsor money, you spend it. Now imagine, if you will, that every single team pulls out of the tournament. And the sponsors who were given that, that verbal promise, hey, I'm going to get good teams, we're going to get great viewership. Imagine they see this. What do? They say, well, these aren't good. This is not good teams. This is not a good tournament. We're out of here. Now, nobody did that. But if that were to happen at that time, it's just over. It's over. I've already paid. It's over. What am I? $70,000, $80,000 in debt from stuff that I've spent for the tournament happening, and the teams and the sponsors pay out? Where is that? Who's paying for that? I don't know. It's not refundable shit. So, yeah. Let's just say times were real bad. And on top of all that, you're there with a sponsor filming content. It was rough. It was rough. Yeah. However, things must move on. What would break a normal man did not break me, baby. And I am happy to report that things were changed in large part of the community, but also by the understanding of Valve themselves. So, without a shadow of a doubt, without saying anything muddled, I was saved by Reddit and fans on Twitter. I was saved by the community. It was over. It was, because you have to really, I don't know if I'm saying this enough. Not only am I, tens of thousands of dollars in debt, but I'm never throwing a tournament again. It's my promise to say that, I'm going to make this work. I mean, I'm done. No one's ever going to sponsor an event again. The teams aren't going to come to an event again. My word is dead. I'm the guy from GESC. It's dead. No one's coming to anything. It's over. And that's okay, because I could probably still survive as talent and a streamer, but it's my dream to put on these events. It's my future. It's what I love to do. I want to do this as a career, is to put on experiences. And that was it. I mean, it's just over. But it wasn't over. The community saved my fucking ass. You guys went insane. I've never seen anything like it before. And there really has never been a precedent for anything like this before. There's never been a third-party tournament that was announced like 6 or 7 months before and got hit. Because again, even if it was a minor qualifier or a major qualifier, we would have been fine. We would have been fine. But the fact that it was both of them at the same time, it was over. And there's never been a precedent like that. And the community came out swinging. And I would like to be the first one to officially say that the community can do a lot, but when it comes down to it, it is the organizer, it is the developer, it is Valve final decision, and they were nothing but happy to work out. They realized, they were like, oh shit, this is bad. They came over, gave options. They said, we'll try this, and this, and let's see what's happening. And they helped. They did it. So, any other dev out there, who fucking cares about Midas Mode 2? Riot won't even let third-party programs happen. Blizzard has a stranglehold on that shit. But Valve said, you know what? The community cares about this. We want to figure it out. So, it was figured out. How was it figured out? I had to cash in. I gave Gabe Newell a blowjob in an elevator. No, I didn't, actually. It was no sexual favors, nothing. It was purely, the community seems to care about this. Let's make it happen. So, no. So, in short, it was horrific. You had to, I guess I'll just say it doesn't really matter because you're seeing the content next week. But I went out to Kennedy with Purge, and we were filming content, and we'd be like getting a tour of something, and I'd be like, "Wow, how interesting! What a great thing! What a great spaceship this is, and all the different stuff." And then our tour guy would walk away, and I'd lean over the rail and go, It was fucking bad, dude. But we made it. We made it. And I couldn't be more thankful to Valve. Couldn't be more thankful to you guys. It was legitimately over. There was no coming back. And then started round 2. Now, it's real great that the tournament was put back on. But let's not forget that literally every team dropped. And yes, it's very good that the times were moved. But at the same time, qualifiers for the major and the minor have been moved merely 3 days after the tournament is over. So, still got issue. How the hell do we get these teams back when we're that close? So, there was a lot of things that needed to be done. There was a lot of begging. There was a lot of promises. There was a lot of direct DMs to players trying to circumvent their managers. There was a lot. A quick example of one thing I had to do. A player said that he would play if I could play 3 ranked games with him in Immortal. Or not ranked. If I just played 3 games with him in Immortal, and he won all 3, and then he would play. You bet your fucking ass I was on that Omni Night, boys. We got it. We got it. Woo! I played that game like my life was over, and he was just like, well, fuck. Well, guess we're in. Woo! There was a lot. A lot of back, a lot of deals being made. A lot of, hey, I hear you sell merch. How about I have your merch at the venue? I take 0% cut. I sell it for wholesale. You pay for the shipping. I'll give it back. No problem at all. I just want to sell your stuff. Please come. Whew! A lot of backdoor shady deals. A lot of shit had to happen. But I would like to formally announce that we are literally waiting on one Twitter DM for the last player to agree. And as of 3 hours ago, I have 12 teams ready for Midas Mode 2 next week. Have you ever heard of a tournament announcing their teams 6 days before the tournament starts? Oh, God. This isn't even over yet, though, boys. Just because we have 12 teams that are willing to participate doesn't mean that it's over. Because what if we go into the scheduling, then we have scheduling conflicts? Last year, we had a team try to pull out 12 hours before the tournament started because they were worried about their scheduling conflict. So, yeah. It ain't over yet. In fact, it's just begun. This is what any tournament organizer would call Hell Week. We are 1 week away from the tournament, which means everything needs to be tested. It needs to be put on. The stage must be built. The time has come. Not to mention sponsor obligations must be fulfilled. We have over 15 videos, or at least content packages, that I need to make in the next 7 days. Now, I do have a team that can help, but this is Hell Week. Not only that, but we have to play test the mode. We have to check out the economy. We have to ensure that all the goodie bags are here. All the fan stuff is here. We have to build the stage. Have to get everything ready. So we are in again. But we will succeed. We will do it. We have a tournament to run. So let's run it. So we will have that team announcement done literally ASAP. I am literally waiting on one DM from one person on Twitter. And then that is the last missing piece. We are done. The 4 other guys on the team are ready. I just need him to confirm. And then we are dropped. So that should be coming out potentially tomorrow. I freaking hope so. And I guess it would be today if you're watching this tomorrow. So there you go. Now, let's talk about other stuff. What if he says no? If he says no, I've already been to hell and back so many fucking times this week. We'll figure it out at this point. I can't. I'll be real with you guys. I sleep about 3 hours a night for the last 8 days. It's over, baby. I'm not even a human goddamn being anymore. We'll figure it out. And I'm happy to be where I'm at. If you're a tournament organizer that isn't dead by the time your tournament's over, it wasn't a good tournament. So, things are real bad. But we're going to get through it. Today's topic on the Midas Mode blog is talent. Now, obviously, talent was supposed to come out, I think it was supposed to come out the day of the minors and major qualifier announcement. So, obviously, we had to put it on hold because I didn't know if there was going to be a goddamn tournament. So, yes, the talent announcement did come out. In case you guys missed that, I'll slap that bad boy right here. So, let's talk about, as a tournament organizer, choosing your talent. Now, you guys might... well, in case you're new to this blog, of course, the blog is a kind of a, I don't know what you call it. What's those things you put in the ground and then you dig them out years later? A time capsule. Yeah, let's consider this blog a time capsule for anyone in the future after I'm gone to how to run a third-party tournament. So let's discuss talent hiring. So most tournament organizers consider talent hiring simply based on... merit, in a way. Merit meaning popularity. Let's talk about that. So, mostly that's good. You want to hire people based on how much viewership they're going to bring in. Toby Wan is a great example. You hire Toby, he's got a legion of fans. You know those fans are going to watch. You know he's going to be competent at his job. And the more versatile that person is, the more likely that they're going to get hired as talent. That's something like Trent. Trent is A-tier talent. Why? He can cast, he can go on your panel, he can do content if he has to. He's generally well-liked. Now, if you are looking for talent as a tournament organizer, that is what you want, is a full package. Because that technically means that you have to hire less people. If Trent can cast and go on panel and be funny and be in content, then I don't need to hire 4 people. I can hire one Trent to do 3 people's jobs. Is that what you should do as an organizer? No, you should have enough money to hire everybody. But is that a realistic view of how a tournament organizer thinks? Absolutely. Why would I hire 4 people when I can hire one person that does 3 jobs? So, yes, that is a big thing that people consider as a tournament organizers. Do I hire a guy that can only cast, or do I hire a guy that can do 4 different things? That's number one. People all the time ask me tier 2, tier 3 talent, if that's even a term. How do I get hired at events? I've been grinding. I've been doing things. I've been trying to get noticed. I want to be someone. Here's the short and sweet answer. It literally doesn't matter how good at your job you are. No one cares. You can be the best caster in the world. You can be the best panelist in the world every single day. Nobody cares as long as if they don't hire you, nobody's mad. That is the secret of being talent. If I don't get hired for an event, will people complain that I'm not there? That is the secret. If you get hired at an event and people are happy that you're there, great. But a tournament organizer doesn't care if people are happy that you're there. They care if people complain. No sponsor has ever gone up to a tournament organizer and said, hey, we really saw that this guy did a good job. Great. I mean, that's expected. That's what you're supposed to do as a tournament organizer, is to put in a good event. But if one of your talent is doing bad, or one of the talent isn't there and everyone's complaining that they're not there, that is where the sponsors go, what the fuck's going on in this event? Everybody wants this Grand Grant guy. Where the hell is he? Who's Grand Grant? No one even likes it. So what really moves your standard tournament organizer is, are people going to be mad if this person isn't there? Then I'm scared. I don't care how good of a job people do. I just don't want people to be mad, because mad equals negative view for their sponsors, equals a lot of pressure from their sponsors. It's all about money for a standard tournament organizer. So, my advice to talent who want to be invited to tournaments is work in a social way. You need to develop fans. You need to develop a community. You need to develop people that like you, because your product means nothing. Best cast of my life, whatever. I'm a caster, and I had an amazing cast at the Boston Major. One of the best casts in the world. Do they care about that when they're hiring somebody else? Not at all. Because it is something like a TV show. Back with old TV, not Netflix, but TV. That's a one-time thing. People that were watching that enjoyed that. But are they going to remember it that much? Not really. You're just giving them a cookie to eat. But if I own a cookie store and people go to the store and my store is about to be closed, then you have an issue. You see the metaphor I'm trying to build? If you're a tier 2 or a tier 3 talent, your best way to get hired at anything is to make yourself a dedicated community and spread that. And you don't do that by streaming nonstop every day for 30 people. You do that by making content, YouTube videos, things that stay along for a very long time, things that I can go in 2 years and watch your YouTube video and say, wow, that was really good. You need to have longevity things. A simple Twitch stream goes away in 2 weeks. How do I ever going to know about that? So you need to provide the community with something. Your job, you casting, is not enough. That is a cookie. You're giving them something to eat. It's a one-time thing. You need to open your cookie shop. You need to provide content. You need to provide things that better the community. And it's impossible to do unless you're actually passionate about it. You can find people that try to get into esports so much, and they don't actually like it. And that's why they can't last in this field. And that's why people find it so hard to move into esports. It's because every talent's number one thing that they have on a resource that is very easy to lose, but is almost impossible to gain, is authenticity, genuineness. You cannot be Taylor Swift. You can't have two super rich parents that groom you from a small age and put you into a place because they put millions of dollars to make sure that you're popular. It doesn't work like that. Why? Because it's based on the internet. Everyone gets to say what they want to say. Nothing is censored. Everyone's writing in all the time with their real opinions. So if you want to actually succeed, you have to be genuine. You have to be a gamer. There's no faking it. And that is why talent is so hard to break into in esports. But that's also what makes it so easy, is because I love Dota. All the other Tier 1 talent love Dota. All the Tier 2 talent, all the Tier 3 talent that are still around, they still love Dota. We love Dota, we play Dota. It's our passion. But if you want to actually build a fan base around yourself, then you have to make content. You have to make something that I can look at in 4 months. You have to build yourself a community. It doesn't have to be a big community. It just has to be a passionate community. It just has to be about people that like what you do. And the best way to find something to do, people to like what you do, is to provide a resource that is not around. If you can make something new that satisfies a need that your community has, and you make that, then you can do great. One of my favorite examples of a rising talent that I really hope is invited to a lot of events in the future is Dota 2 Bowie. Great example of this. What does Bowie do? Nobody's making content for Dota 2 in South America. He makes content. He's a smart guy. He plays the game. He does purge-like content, and he makes fantastic content that people can actually watch. And it's just a matter of time before he is picked up and he is used at every single Tier 1 event because he's got all of it. He's building the community, he's making the content that there's a void for, and he's good. And he's good because he practices. This is great. This is why he's just going to wait. Is very much true. Getting picked up, that big moment, is all about your practice, your dedication, meeting an opportunity. And that is it. That's all it is. OD Pixel grinded for 3 years before he was in the world's longest game with Purge. Practice, meeting, opportunity. Having that background for that one chance in your entire life where it's going to matter. And if you don't put in that practice, that one chance you fuck it up, you're not dead. Take a while, years later. But yeah. Wasn't OD pretty quick? Not at all. Are you kidding me? I first met OD Pixel when he was a subscriber to my channel. He was the world's worst timber saw, and me and Pyrian Flax would invite him to play with us once in a while, and he was nobody, and he casted with Wakey Pixel every single day for 9 hours a day. He was a fucking Slacks sub. He was nothing. But what did he do? He grinded every day for 9 hours a day, waiting for that moment, and then it hit. And there you are. So, anyway, that is the big question. How do I become talent in esports? I'll break it down one more time for you. 1, you have to be passionate about it. You can't fake it. You try to fake it, you'll never last because you have to live this shit. People tell me every day, "Oh, are you different in real life? Is this a thing that you put on for the camera?" I fucking wish. Don't you think I want to turn this off? This is annoying as ass. But I can't because it's actually me. If you play a different character, you'll be trapped there for the rest of your life if it's successful. God, hope that doesn't happen to you. So number 1, be genuine and actually care about what you do because you're going to be doing it a lot. There is no break. There is never an off time for me. Number 2, practice. Every single day. Doesn't matter if you have 10 viewers. You need to be ready for that moment. That breakthrough moment. Number 3, make a community. How do you make a community? By doing something that people want and by making content that stays around for more than a day. Do not Twitch stream for 30 people every day and then just hope something's going to happen. You need to make content. Do not just cast a really good game that 10,000 people might see, because that doesn't mean anything. You're not casting again. You just made a cookie. You've given them a good, tasty product. Maybe they'll buy your cookie, they'll enjoy your cookie in the future, but they have nowhere to buy it. So, those are the three of how you move up as talent in the esports world. And is it hard? Sure. Well, we could pretend like it's not hard. I can tell you that, life is easy and pancakes. But in honesty, there is never a waking moment where I'm not working. It is a choice that I did have a full head of hair before I started this, I envy people that have a 9 to 5. You go home at 5 o'clock and you have your life. You get to hang out with your wife. You get to have full everything. It's good. It does not happen when you're an esports personality. You're always on. You're always doing something. And if you're not doing something, you're fucking up, because there's 10 people that would be happy to replace you. So, that's a general esports talent. Well, let's talk about it as a tournament organizer. What I look for in talent. Everything that I've said so far is about a standard tournament organizer. Well, guess what? A lot of them are wrong. It's not how you should do it. You shouldn't hire people based on, am I scared that people are going to be mad that they're not there? You shouldn't hire people based on if they got invited to TI. And you sure as shit shouldn't invite people and then randomly throw them together in some kind of mixed bag of who wants to work on Friday. Stupid, stupid, stupid. It's great for short term. People see a talent list and they go, oh my God, look at these guys. They're all there. But is the product good? If you just have a mixed bag of random talent and you throw them out there like fucking dice. No. And that's something that nobody gets in esports. Because, as I said, everyone is genuine and organic. But guess what? Everyone's genuine and organic, which means that nobody has any fucking training in esports. They're terrible. And I'd say that in the nicest way. But in esports, every single person that's involved is organically grown from their parents' basement. There's no formal training. There's no media training. There's no nothing. They're good at what they're good at, and they taught themselves. And that's really good in some ways. But if you screw that up, if you put two hype casters together on a cast just because they're popular, you are hurting everyone. You're hurting yourself because your product sucks. You're hurting their careers because their product sucks, and it's reflected poorly on them, and it's all over. Excuse me for the cough. You lose stuff. So any tournament organizer that cares about their product needs to care about the talent. They need to know the relationships these talent have. They need to have strong pairings of these talent. They need to know how they work best. And guess what? That takes time, that takes effort, and that takes someone that's actually in the scene, which is very difficult. It is hard, as somebody who's never thrown a Dota event before, to know who these talent work with the best, because they have to do whatever you say. Now, one of the things that organizers are finally starting to do in the last year to 2 years is let talent make decisions. Holy Jesus. You have no idea how many tournaments that I've gone to where people just say, okay, you're up with this guy, you're doing this, you're doing this, you're doing this, and let's make a show. Do I want, as a talent, to say, hey, I don't think that we would work well together, because that's embarrassing for me, it's embarrassing for the talent I've been put up with, and it's also undermining the authority of the person who hired you. So you're screwed. But lately, finally, organizers have started saying, hey, who do you guys want to work with? What days do you want? Let's make the best show possible. And that's how the good shit is made, is by letting people do their strengths and work with their strengths. So, yes. That is why, at Midas Mode 2, I have the talent list that I have. Because they were strategically picked for people that work very well together. Has all these people worked TI before? Absolutely not. Will half of these people work TI next time? Maybe. But what do? Is that my talent list goes for who I think is going to succeed the most at the event. And in what way. Now, cater your talent preferences based on what you need from them. And sometimes people just want a good show for the stream. They just want the best casters and the best things. That's great. Hire the best casters. Go for it. In Midas Mode 2, we are looking 100% for community interaction and involvement, which is why we have the talent list that we have. Let's talk about Kyle. Kyle. Love Kyle. You want to know why he's on the list for Midas Mode? Because he's a good fucking guy to talk to. Kyle is one of the only talent in the world that when he's done casting, he goes in the goddamn crowd and watches games with the fans. He drinks with the fans. He chats with the fans. He gives a shit about the fans. And that is why he's here. Because this is a community event. We don't have any teams at the event. What we do have is only talent. So of course I'm having Kyle. Kyle is one of the most approachable, genuine, and kind people in the entire scene. Why wouldn't he be at Midas mode? He has to talk to fans. We're 10 feet away from the fans. So that's pretty much a lot of this kind of stuff. OD Pixel, same way. Great caster. But guess what? Also takes a moment to talk with the fans. Sheaver loves the fans. They love interacting. The Moonduck guys are the Moonduck guys. I mean, that's who we are. That's what we do. Literally all we do is read Twitch chat during our cast and like shit talk people. It's great. Jenkins and Moxie. Jenkins, great guy as well. Been building up a long time. Works really well with Moxie. And I think that their casting duo is really, really good. As a tournament organizer too, don't be afraid to make decisions based on your gut feeling. For example, at MDL Disneyland Paris, the guys contacted me and they said, Jake, we want you to be a host. And I said, I've never been a goddamn host. What are you talking about? That's crazy. This is a major. He said, look, I think you'd be good at it. And I want you to prep for it, get excited for it, but I want to see how you do. And if it doesn't work out, we'll replace you. So I went for it. And guess what? I thought I had a blast. It was one of the most fun events that I've been to this year. Because I got to do something new, I got to challenge myself, and I got to be a host. So don't be afraid to say, I think that you would be good at this to your talent. But just say, hey, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Clearly, you're good at other shit. So, yeah. For example, Moustrix is a great example of that. Mally and I have been making content for the last 2 years. Oh, thank you, my friend. I'm sorry, Gagent. I think it'd be great as a stage host, personally. I think that he's got kind of some good, he's got great crowd interaction, he's funny, he's quick, he's dry. I think it'd be good. So we're going to challenge the talent a little bit. We're going to try to grow them a little bit, and we'll see how it goes. Gareth is another great one. People might be asking, why Gareth? Gareth has been joined Dota for a long time. He's been working events. Well, guess what? Gareth's a great caster, Gareth. But again, he's got that attitude. He's got that attitude of when the cameras are off, he's going to go into the talent room, he's going to laugh, he's going to have fun, he's going to joke around, and he's going to bring up the whole group. And that's exactly the kind of attitude that we need. Mr. Gary B was fantastic. Grant as well. Anybody that's having a good time, because you're trying to build a theme with your talent as well. The International hires people because of skill, and because of how they want their show to feel, If you have a panel up there with the most knowledgeable people in the world, you have Nahaz, Trent, pro player XYZ, and then esteemed host like Red Eye. That's a feel of, this is a big event. This is important. And that's great for them. Nahaz lol. Why are you lolling at Nahaz, bro? There's two different parts about talent. There's the seedy underbelly of making decisions as a tournament organizer, by the way. And this might be a little controversial. And I will say I don't particularly feel that good saying it. But this is the hard truth of life in tournament organizing in esports. Are you ready for this? I do not want, well, not me. Clearly not me. But a tournament organizer's biggest thing that they want to do in a tournament is to have as many non-nerdy, skinny, white dudes as possible. Because I'm sorry, but that is the majority of people that are showing up. Skinny, pale, frail-looking dudes. Skinny, frail, pale-looking dudes, we're in excess. That's sad to say. But if I can get anything, if I can get some old man like the Haas, woo, that just looks better on the camera. There's differences in that. A guy like Red Eye, an esteemed older gentleman. Boom. Looks better. Diversity is good. Do I agree with that? No. Put the best people that actually give a shit about what they're thinking and then have a good product. Because again, genuineness is the most important thing to an esports audience. But a typical tournament organizer goes, oh my God, a girl? Wonderful. This will look great on camera. It's not how you should do it. You should do it by, it's not like TV. It's hard to get out of that TV mindset. If there's 5 people on a panel, we need 1 girl, 1 person from this race, 1 person from this age. Don't do it. Give the jobs to the people that actually know what they're talking about, because it's not TV. You can't censor people. And imagine if TV shows had Twitch chat on the side at all time. It'd be run completely differently. You have to be genuine. Get the good people for the job. But I will say that doesn't mean that there isn't still a need for that kind of shit, you know? The first pro female Dota player will be the richest person that has ever participated in the sport of Dota 2. Why? Does it matter how good she is? Absolutely. She has to be at the pro level. But that will be the most sought-after person in the world for every single team, every single interview, every single anything. As soon as there is a pro Dota girl who has 7,000 to 8,000 MMR and is playing on pro teams, that will be the most popular team and the most broadcasted team in the entire scene of Dota 2. And we're just waiting. Zai did it for years. No, I'm kidding. No, I didn't mean that. But, yeah. And that's just it's a thing of life, you know? Is that right? No, I don't think that's right. I think that's fucked up. But is that something that is actually true when 99% of tournament organizers come from the world of TV and movie production? Absolutely. It's what they're looking for. So, ladies, everybody else that isn't a very skinny, frail-looking guy that looks like he spends every day in your mom's basement, you have an advantage. Work towards it. You have a better chance than anybody else. Carlo. You guys ever seen Carlo from Moonduck? Holy fucking shit. Carlo from Moonduck. Oh my god. This kid is a... This kid is a CrossFit guy. I wish I had a picture for you. I really do. God damn it. Where's Carlo? This dude works out in CrossFit. He is the most ripped guy I have ever met besides Blake Martinez. Do you know how fucking famous that guy would be if he wanted to be on Dota panels? Imagine if there was a Dota panel with Zyori, CC&C, and then a guy who looks like he just got finished fighting the Locust from Gears of War. Holy shit. This jack dude would be on every panel. Okay? Fly every panel, all right? Because he looks different. Different is good when in a visual, all right? Different is good, and that's what tournament organizers look for. That's how their minds think, because they're not esports people. They're TV people. They're movie people. We need to see different people. So, anyway, there you go. As far as my talent selections, it should be completely obvious based on those that talk we just had as to why I hired who I hired. Every single person on this list will talk to a fan. Every single person on this list will have a beer with a fan. Every single person on this will probably stay 2 hours after the tournament playing on PCs with fans. And every single person on this list is ready to have fun. Are all talent like that? No. But that's why not all the talent are here. These are the people that I think are the best people in our community for hanging out with fans. Let's talk about the shitty part about being a tournament organizer. You can't hire everybody. Are there people missing from this list? Abso-fucking-lutely. Fogged is missing from this list. Toby is missing from this list. God, hundreds. Nahaz is missing from this list. But tournament organizers think of talent. Capitalist. Blitz. They're all missing. And tournament organizers, unfortunately, typically have to think last on talent. It's just the nature of the game. Because everything else has to be locked in first before you can move on to talent selection. You have to know the venue first. You have to know the sponsors. You have to get the teams. You have to confirm all the above. By the time you've moved on to talent, you're a month away from your event, typically. TI talent, there's been years in TI where talent have been invited 2 weeks before the event. For a 3-week event, by the way. It's just how it goes. We're last on the list. Talent's always last. Because everything else has to be confirmed first. There's no reason to confirm talent if you haven't confirmed teams because you don't know what kind of event you're throwing. So, yeah. it's rough in the world of talent, but that's what it is. And money is also a thing, too. Got to pay talent based on how good they are. Typically, a lot of tournament organizers try to get away with hiring Tier 2 and Tier 3 talent and paying them much less because they cost less. And again, that's the thing. You wanna get paid more, have people care about you more, you know? So yeah, it's rough out there, and it's usually at the end of that process, after all your funds are gone, you're saying, okay, what in this little pool do we have left do we have for talent? And we have to hire talent based on the money that we have. I'm extremely lucky because everybody on this list, I was very open with them. I said, hey, here's all the money I've raised. Here's all the money I've spent. Can you work for this much? Because I'm fucked. And they said, yeah. Literally every person that is working this event is getting paid pennies compared to what they usually get. And that's because they're my friends. And that's very nice of them. And do I feel bad about that? Absolutely. You shouldn't cash that shit on your friends. That's awful. That's life. Hopefully they know that if I didn't have those sponsors pulled out and we were actually in the green, they would have got paid more. But that's something I got to live with. So, yeah. Money issues, man. It fucking sucks. And to be perfectly honest with you, I had to do what I did last year. And I don't believe I'm being paid for this event. The 9 months of working it or actually working it, because I'm putting it to talent. And these are my friends. I got to get paid. So if anyone's working for this event for free, it's me. So we're in it. But hey, that's how you get the talent there, right? You got to pay them. So there you have it. Let's talk about back of house talent. Now, front of house talent is great. That's what everyone assumes is the majority of what you need is front of house talent. Who cares about everything else? Horrible way to think about it. You know what makes esports interesting is that no matter how good your talent is, no matter how good of personalities they are, no matter what kind of cult of influence that they have, nobody gives a shit if the fucking game doesn't work. If I'm in a game of Dota, watching a Dota tournament, and the goddamn game doesn't work, I couldn't care shit who's casting it. Alright? Johnny Depp makes a bad movie, I guess I got to see Johnny Depp or whatever, but if the shit doesn't work, it's awful. And that's very unique in esports, you know? If there's a problem, what problem arises on a football field? What do you call it? The thing in the middle, the party in the middle goes wrong. No one cares if the halftime show sucks because they still get to watch the Super Bowl. Not the same in esports. If your product goes down, everything goes down. There is no product. No game, no product. So, behind the scenes talent is extremely important. It would be stupid to say that it doesn't almost double the importance of your on-screen talent too. Because without them, nothing else works. So, of course, we were lucky enough to secure the best backstage talent in the world. Knoxville, the boys from Laerth, Buka is a living god. If there's one person that should be hired at Valve in the entire Dota scene, if they said, Jake, we're gonna hire one person from Dota, who would it be? Buka, 200%. Or JJ. These guys are back of house legends. Create Laerth. If you liked any innovation that Valve has made in the Dota 2 client for the last 10 years, they probably stole it from these two assholes. No offense, Valve. So, yes. Knoxville. Also, not a lot of you guys know this, but Knoxville is pretty much backstage at almost every single Dota event, making sure that it works. Any good one, anyway. So, that's why he's in there. Pop-Tart. Very interesting fellow. In the world of observing, very little room to grow. You've got Scriff and Weppis, who are the world's best observers in the world. They have been working since the beginning of Dota. I would say that Scriff and Weppis have probably watched more games than any human alive, probably more than Ice Frog, because they work every event and they're the observers for every game. Then you got JJ, if you don't feel like hiring Scriff or Weppis, who can observe like the best of them. I find JJ's observing to be almost like being told a story. He follows things. He builds things on his own. He kind of looks at one particular person's story more often. He doesn't just look for actions. He looks for the flow of the game. But then you got Pop-Tart, who decides that he wants to be an observer. That is the most competitive shit in the world. Yeah, don't try to be a hype caster. Don't try to be an observer. But Pop-Tart's in. So why not give him a goddamn shot? He did great at the Jungle Jam. We tested him out at Jungle Jam. He did good. And, yeah, we'll put him in there as well. So, there you go. Hell of a lot better than flying in Scriffin weapons. Nah, I'm just kidding. I love those two guys. But, yeah. Oh, my God, he's in chat. Didn't know that, buddy. So let's give him a shot. And he did a great job at Jungle Jam. Hopefully he makes a name for himself in this tournament. And we pop in. So there you go. A special guest. Not saying that. But, yep. Pretty much that's talent. Now there's a lot of... Oh, God. No, not this. Not this. Why did it delete the webcam? Now I gotta reconfigure it. Oh, God, no. Great. Not this. All right. Oh, not the background. So, special guest will be revealed. I'm keeping tight-lipped on that. Still want to have some surprises, even though the, doing these blogs and stuff. Other things to think about. While you're a tournament organizer when it comes to talent, don't focus on front of house talent as much as you think. You need, swim stream. Wow. If you're working as talent, you need to think a lot about the back of house talent. Don't confuse yourself, okay? Remember, if your tournament doesn't work, nobody gives a shit about it. You need to make sure that your back is working harder than your front of house. All right? You go to any restaurant, it doesn't matter who the waiter is. They're a part of the cog. What needs to happen is that the goddamn food comes out on time, okay? So, focus on event staff. Focus on partnerships with organizers. Focus on people that have done this before for a living. Focus on back house people as much as possible that have as much experience as possible. When it comes to talent, you can take risks. When it comes to people that are putting on your show, you cannot. You have to find the best back of house talent that you possibly can, because if you're not watching games, nothing is happening, and your tournament sucks. There is no apologizing for technical issues. There's plenty of apologizing you can do for talent. You have plenty of options. But if the goddamn games aren't playing, there's no way out. So there you go. Great example. You want to talk about front of house talent that's amazing and back of house talent that isn't? Shanghai Major. Every single person hired in the front of house was great at that event. They fucking nailed it. Except for one. But he was dealt with. And I personally like him. But back of house talent bad. Worst Dota tournament in human history. Didn't focus enough on the back of house talent on that one. So, I guess that's kind of it for the Midas blog this week. This is hell week for me. It will be the worst week of the past probably ever. I don't think I've ever been under this much stress before. 3 hours of sleep a night. Tournament's getting canceled 48 hours before. Tournament back on. Refining teams. It has been hell on earth. And guess what? Wouldn't be happier, baby. This is what it's all about. Knew this day was coming for a long time, so I'm happy that I'm here getting murdered. And we'll see if I make it to the end. But as always with these blogs, it is now 2:32 p.m. and we are up for our Q&A. 15 minutes of as many questions as you want to ask. Go ahead, boys. All good. Again, last time, I'll say this again. Can't thank you people enough. Without you, the tournament was literally dead. Without a great developer like Valve who's willing to listen to the community and give them what they want, the tournament would have been dead. So, from the bottom of my heart, thanks for making this stupid tournament happen so my life could have been horrible. You know, I just could have run away with the money, right? I could have just disappeared and never worked an event again, and you guys had to fuck it up. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you so much, guys. All right, questions. You can do it. Oh, thanks. I usually read the ones in red. Strength, thank you. Thank you. If you want to ask a question, have it be in red. How many hours do you estimate the tournament will run each day? I would assume, I think we have 3 best of 3s a day, starting at 10 o'clock. Typically, 3 best of 3s is about 8-hour day. Could potentially go up to 10 on the first couple days. I don't think I've ever been to a tournament that didn't have significant delays on day one. So day one's going to suck. There's definitely going to be issues probably. And hopefully those are ironed out by later. So I guess about 8 hours a day. I'd be consider getting a sex change to get more work. Pass on that one. Was Dota 2 Bowie invited? He should have been. He really should have been. It sucks, man. It sucks. You're not in this position when you're just a tournament organizer. You don't have to care about whose careers you want to succeed, who you want to support. You know, some fucking guy at ESL that's making talent invites. He doesn't have to care. I care. I fucking wish Dota 2 Bowie was at this tournament. But, money, time, energy, flights, cost of flights, cost of living, cost of food, finding a slot that he could go in that makes sense. Gotta make hard decisions. So, yeah, it fucking sucks. I wish he was there. Would you be willing to franchise, meaning let other people do it? Bro, yeah, God. That's a long way away. Let's get through this first. Where can I watch Midas Mode 1? Online? Does this make you happy? Yeah. Not now, but it will. I don't think I've ever felt as much pride for something that I did besides Midas Mode 1. Genuinely an experience people enjoyed, that teams enjoyed for the most part, delivered to my sponsors. You know, good things, if it's supposed to be easy, then it wouldn't feel so fucking good when you're done with it. Doing easy things doesn't make me feel good. Doing the impossible does. So, I'm having the time of my life. You know, it sucks ass right now. Pepsi or Coke? Pepsi products. Coke. Between Pepsi and Coke. Pepsi products are better, though. Do the do. Who is Gareth? Great caster from Join Dota. Why do you think TI's final day panel model always seems very chaotic to me? It's hard. It's very hard. It's very hard, especially with TI. Oh, Jesus. We're going to miss some questions here. But I do want to talk about this. Item customizations, that will come out during the tournament itself. TI is hard. It's the most important thing in the year for the players. It's also the most important thing in the year for talent. And it's Valve's biggest opportunity to branch out to talent to viewers that don't watch Dota. More people in esports watch the grand finals of the international than I bet you could say ever in the entire year, multiple years of Dota. That is the one day that people that don't watch Dota 2 watch. Probably explains why it's so chaotic on that last day. If I'm a tournament organizer, I want to maximize as much as possible, filling in the gaps of what my viewers are looking for. And on the grand final day, I want to appeal to as many human beings as possible. Not the niche audience that already likes Dota. I want to expand. So I'm putting people that are best at that on that last day. Probably explains why things change so much on that. Did I cry? I should have. I should have cried. I have a bit of a problem with that. You should cry, by the way. Don't be a fucking masculinity guy. Did you know that when you cry, actual chemicals from your brain that create sadness literally leak out? Those chemicals that go in your brain and tell you to be sad are literally extracted from your brain by tears. If you're super sad and you don't cry, you're building up a blockage of that shit. You created the petition, Kaluiti? Sir, you literally saved my life. So if you cry, if you're really sad and you don't cry, and you force yourself not to cry, you're making a buildup of sadness, literal sadness chemicals. Cry as much as you can. Do it in public. Do it in private. I don't give a shit. I haven't cried since I was 13. I really wish I could. I could really use a lot of this shit coming out of my fucking brain. So there's something clearly wrong with me, but cry as much as possible. From a psychology man. Holy Jesus. This is a lot of questions, boys. We're in trouble. Guys, I'm sorry. I gotta skip to the bottom. I gotta skip. We're never gonna make it through this. Shit. Okay. Did you really suck gaming? I would have. God Gamer to one of your events? What? Thoughts on shaving your head? Maybe. Oh, this is a lot, boys. We're going to have to... you're still asking questions. All right, retype in your questions. I'm starting at the bottom. How are you happy all the time? You're not happy all the time. I'm living life. I have the best job in the world. I play fucking video games for a living. Are you kidding me? How can I not be happy all the time? Spent the majority of my life with $200 in my bank account working at Outback Steakhouse for 8 years, dude. Fucking times are great. I'm very happy. Got nothing to be mad about. Is it true you don't like Bulldog? I really like Bulldog a lot. I don't know if I think he's pretty indifferent to me. I don't think Bulldog is too huge of a fan of me, but I think he's great. There's literally no other ex-player that has transformed themselves into a cult of personality like Bulldog. He's smart. Talk about fucking, making a community about yourself and delivering products that people like. Go from being a player. His YouTube channel is bigger than anyone else's in Dota. Can you believe that? He's bigger than Purge. He's bigger than any other content creator, and it's just runoff from his Twitch stream. Very smart. Very good. If there's some people that are going to survive Dota when it eventually dies, he'll be at the top. So, really respect him like the guy. Where can I buy your bath water? I don't want mine, dude. It'll make you sick. Updated Techie's Guide one day. Will you marry me? Well, I'm married. I'm afraid. Midas mode. Send me the deck. Will Team Secret be there? No legal Reno. Rogaine sponsorship? I don't think they want this associated with their product. It'll probably be bad. I mean, if they fixed it, yeah. Let's see. Tickets to Midas Mode available. Mags? Yes. And I know that's a sellout, and I love you for it. Am I special? Yeah. Yeah, you are. Where will Sernell play? I don't think he's going to have a problem. After their tournament, is there any possible way to make it an arcade game? Maybe. Is this a question? There is a question mark. For your talent, who was the talent you had to drop for financial reasons you mentioned in the last blog? I'm not going to say that, but you can take some educated guesses. Are you going to post the post-Midas blog? Yep, of course. Asexual Pringles, no word on that. Team announcement soon, hopefully tomorrow or the next day. Tournament organizers, or times of the tournament. Starts at 10 a.m. local time. Currently it's 2:41, and I'm expecting it to be about 8 hours past that. So, just hope that helped. Vice Frog removes hand of Midas. What happened to your tournament? Not much. Do you think the Indiegogo funding went? We talked about this before. The Indiegogo was never really about making money. It was just genuinely a funny idea that I wanted to have because I think it'd be great to have Capri Sun and Gun Witch Doctor in there. It was half marketing tool, half serious. As we've stated many times before, if I wanted to actually have it be a success and make $1 million, Heroes would have cost $300. But I really just wanted it to be funny and interesting. So if we actually made things affordable on that, we would have never gotten them all done, and it would have been a disaster. So yeah, I think it was very successful. Did exactly what I wanted to. Made people laugh and think this is fucking stupid. So mission accomplished there. EG coming. What happened to Antidroid? Man, ask Antidroid. Did you brush your eyebrows? No. Is Gaming a special guest? What do you think of Henry Kissinger? Whom? Anything going on Monday? Anything a VIP could help with? Oh! Help! You're there to have fun. Why do you want to help? What was the backup plan if Valve couldn't move the dates? What was the backup plan? Backup plan would have been to try to convince the sponsors to stay. It would have been to spend the rest of the sponsor money on refurbishing people's plane tickets, buying out their hotels, apologizing immensely. Still would have had an event. My plan was pay for everyone's hotel tickets, pay for everyone's flights, hold a event, probably a qualifier watching party, so that people that had vacation days and committed to coming would still be able to do something. Convince the sponsors that we're going to move the tournament to a specific new date, and then try to find more sponsors to cover the losses of all the non-referable stuff that I could. It would have been a disaster. It would have been hard. It would have been me taking out loans from the bank to be able to pay for that shit, and then trying desperately to sell sponsor space to a tournament that nobody trusted anymore. But that was my plan. Would not be good. Consider making a Snapchat? Nope. Go nuts. Are you going to update Techie's Guide? One day, we would have definitely made the cancellation part of Sir Sadeem's storyline. How were the casting panels decided at TI? How much input did you have? I've worked with Valve a few times for the International, and every single time I tell them the same thing. I want to be in charge of anything but talent selection. I do not want to be in charge of do my friends survive for another year. That is not my game. Anytime they ask me, stuff like that, I'm out. I don't want to have any... TI is too big. It makes or breaks people's entire careers. You get hired at a TI panel, you're probably going to get hired at every DPC event if you don't kill it. I mean, if you don't fuck it up, so, no. Stayed away from as far away from that as humanly fucking possible. Artifact show match? No. I wish we could. But no, people will literally shut it off. It's too toxic. Me and Suns fan played 3 hours of Artifact against each other yesterday. We do more coaching. Yes! In October, I plan to do it every day. Why'd you take so long to get to this question? Smart. Could you blow me a kiss? I love you. Joda. Did she ever like Outback Steakhouse? Yes! That was the same Outback I worked at for 8 years. What's your favorite game apart from Dota? Artifact. Truth. Alright, who's your favorite talent to share a hotel with? Zayori. We stay up all night just talking. It's like we're on our first date. I've talked to that kid for like 10 hours and not slept at multiple events before. It's fucking hilarious. Hey, watch a Dota till Midas mode. Whoa, that is great. Thank you so much. If you have a double degree, why do you have to work at Outback for 8 years? Serving's a good job. Makes you a lot of money in a quick amount of time. In 4 hours on a good night, you can make $200. In 8 hours on a bad night, you can make $10. It's a risk, but it's fun. What day do you plan on releasing team info? As soon as possible. We're waiting on one more Twitter DM, and we can release. I hope it's tomorrow or the next day. Will Mr. Rue be opening the show because he doesn't have to fly? He will be there. Bromance between you and Purge? Hope so. I love Kevin. If there's one thing that you could tell yourself 5 years from now to improve your life, what would it be? I don't know. That's a good one. Wait. Tell yourself 5 years ago. I thought you said from now. That would be a stupid question. 5 years ago? I don't know. I think I've nailed it 5 years ago. I think 5 years ago I quit Outback to go do this. So I'd say I wouldn't even say that I would be successful because then I'd demotivate myself. So nothing. I would just give a thumbs up. Big spoon or little spoon? Any spoon, please. Someone touch me. Anybody. Would you support the legalization of LSD? I will support anything that gets people out of the line at the DMV. I think all drugs should be legal. Go nuts. I don't care. If you want to do drugs, do them. Make less road for me on my way to Chipotle. When will Midas Mode take place date-wise? Right there. That's Viagra sponsorship, sure. Host panel at Midas Mode. DM you to sort out details. Oh, Jesus Christ. Invite Tokay to perform music? That's in a fucking tweet right now at Streetlight Manifesto. Fuck it. If Streetlight Manifesto comes to my goddamn tournament for free, absolutely. Expect a community to be hardcore supporting your event? Absolutely not. No. I've never been so shocked as the first time the community did something for me. Back when I was making stupid voices for Dota 2 and I posted an Indiegogo for a $200 power adapter, went to work, and 12 hours later there was $12K in the account. Dota 2 community is the greatest community in the world. I had no fucking inkling that they would come to my aid on that one, and they came out in droves. We're the best community in the world because we play the hardest game in the world. We all know it. We're brothers, all of us. All right, boys. I think we passed 10 minutes. I think we are good. I have unlimited amounts of work to do. Scan these for end of Midas Mode just for it to end. 4 teams per region. I remember the first TI you covered. You didn't quit until after, right? I still haven't quit. I've been working every single day since then. Won't say that. Karaoke and Midas mode. Maybe we could try. What do you think of the greatest Dota player there ever is? Most would say Miracle. New people would say Thompson, because statistically he is. His first event was TI, and then he won that TI and the next TI. I think the greatest Dota players of all time I know it's lame, but it has to be Kuro and Puppy. They've been to every international, they never gave up, and they're still on the top of their game. There's so many people that went to TI1 and are not up there yet. Fucking Puppy has been at every single international for 9 years. He never stopped. Kuro too. That's fucking crazy. Can you imagine being top tier at anything for 9 years? That's insane. Absolutely. He listens to Sunsman's podcast every time. My favorite content Sunsman makes, though, is his chest opening videos. I love those. I do pretend to be Midas Cercidim all the time. Actually, before I do videos, I talk in that voice to myself all day. Any incentives for teams? Yep. Hopefully the community makes bounties. I'm sure they will. All right. No Ponzi scheme. All right, guys. I think we're just about done here. Love you, bud. Love you guys, too. For reals. Okay. What is this? GoFundMe. Oh, I've seen it. It ain't going to happen. I hope. I had a ranked game which was stomped, did not count. It's connection issues. Wrote an email to Gaben for you. I hope you enjoy. Thanks for watching the stream. Okay, I'm out, boys. I'm out. That's enough for me. Guys, I hope we covered Lacoste, BSJ, or Gods. I wish I could hire everyone. I wish this was a fucking Dota party, but it sucks, man. It really sucks. All right, thank you all for watching. It's been a fun ride. Happy I'm alive. Tough times last week. More stress than I've been in a long time. And it only gets worse from here. But we will have more Minus Mode blogs. Hopefully we have something as soon as the stage starts getting built and we get you a backstage access over at localhost arena. It's been a pleasure, an honor. Enjoy the team announcement, and thanks for saving my life. Bye, guys.